Hey everybody, and welcome to Harbor Freight's early Black Friday deals. I'm only covering their early stuff going on now through the 26th. Their actual Black Friday sale will start on the 24th, which I believe is next Monday. I know that's going to be inside Track Club only for the first couple of days, and then they're going to close on Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving, it'll be open to everybody. Guess what? It'll all be gone before everybody. So if you're not an Inside Track Club member, you might be in trouble at Harbor Freight. I'm not showing next week's flyer yet because it is not officially released, and I've seen a few early releases that have different things on them, and I don't like telling you about things that may not be true. So I'll do a second Harbor Freight when I see a real flyer. But this early Black Friday thing is going on right now, and they have a few things in here you might be interested in. And I was in my Harbor Freight yesterday, and a lot of this early stuff is gone. But a lot of it's still there. So I'll touch on what I did see in the store, and I did see the little toolboxes that we all love. And at 15 bucks, that's a great price. Now, you see 6 colors here, but you're only seeing red, blue, and black. Let me click on it here for you. The other 3 colors, which would be the slate gray, the purple, which is really kind of cool, and the neon green, they're not on sale. They're at regular $18.99 price. The red, blue, and black are at $15. So just know that going in. If you're looking to get one of the new fancy colors, you're going to spend another $4. Not the end of the world, but just keep an eye on that. There's gloves. There's a whole fitting of normally everything in the store is intertwined, I should say, into this sale. You're going to have some ratchets, you're going to have some sockets, you're going to have some Doyle pliers, you're going to have some Quinn tools, you're going to have some Pittsburgh tools, a lot of sockets, a lot of ratchets. The Doyle pliers and all of the Doyle tools are excellent, and I have a full set of them now, and I think they're great. Pittsburgh ratchets are what I keep in my truck. They're just exactly what I need in my truck, to be honest with you. I would go with Quinn if you're looking for something to use more on a regular basis, but Pittsburgh gets it done for people who are just using the tools once in a while, which is where I fall. I was going to grab a couple of these little 12-inch tool totes. They were long gone, guys, gonzo. They're only $8 normally. It's only a $3 savings, so I'll just get them when they're in stock. I'm not going to drive back for that. I would say this Quinn set of screwdrivers here looks really good. I, years ago, purchased a Cobalt set of screwdrivers that is just about what this set is. And I would say Quinn is, a good quality set. I like my Cobalt set, so I didn't buy this Quinn set. I don't need another one. But if I was looking for a set of screwdrivers right now, a 15-piece set for $22 is a pretty darn good deal. So you might be interested in that. There's some welding stuff, as you just saw with the gloves. The foam knee pad I have one. It's a little firmer than the one they have at Home Depot, but the one they have at Home Depot is 3 times this price. For $5, this is a good little thing to have. If you're getting to be my age and kneeling down is kind of a pain in the butt, I jump right into it. The carbide router bit set from Bauer, you should be careful buying router bits because there's bits in here you'll probably never use. I would say, there's 15 bits in here, and if you're only going to use 3 of them, take the $32 and buy 3 better bits that you're going to use. If you really think you're going to use a lot of these, you might want to go for it. But generally, router bit sets have a lot of bits that just don't get used. That's my take on that. We'll go to the second page. This early sale is just a 2-page sale. It's not that big, but there are some things, and like I said, they've been blown out of the stores. The moving blankets at $4. I have like 5 of these. I just moved. They came in very handy. The ratchet bar Pittsburgh clamps, I use some of these, but you don't need to make a special trip to save 50 cents on these things. They're still only $5, so $4.49. If you're in the store, great. If not worth the trip. working our way down here. We're almost done with it already. If you work on trim at all, this little kit is probably not bad at $5.50 to take off some trim pieces on your car. I don't do that on my car anymore, but I do have an older car now that is having a headliner issue, so I might go pick that up to see if I can fix my headliner. Now we're getting into something we might be a little more interested in right at the end of this sale. The Hercules 20 volt batteries are $30 for the 2 amp hour, and the Bauer 3 amp hour are $50. You know, those are fairly, the $30 for the Hercules is a pretty good price. I know it's only a 2 amp hour battery, but you know, if you're in the 20 volt line, jump on it. I'm in the 12 volt line with Hercules, so unfortunately nothing there to help me. As you can see, guys, it's a fairly low impact for woodworking, which is what my channel normally focuses on. Now, if some of you are here looking at the full sale and that's how you found me, there's what's going on this week as the early stuff is continuing. I believe there's also an Inside Track Club sale going on, so let's go look at their front page. All right, there is a second part of the early sale going on, and it's the early Black Friday coupon sales. Now, these go all the way till December 1st, and it started, last week. So there is quite a few coupons. This really, to me, is just their regular monthly coupon sale, and they're just throwing early Black Friday in front of it. But hey, it says early Black Friday, so let's talk about it, right? You're going to see the whole gamut here of the stuff you normally see on their coupon sales. And you know, if you need some of these things, it's a good time to get them. They have we'll have compressors here. This little paint gun goes on sale all the time. Actually, I think I've seen it go on sale less than that, but it's, you know, it's $20. It is what it is. There's a Bauer nail 18 gauge crown stapler here. Something a woodworker might need to be a little inclined with this channel here. There's automotive stuff. Quite a few bits and pieces here that I'm not going to touch on because honestly I don't use them. They got a couple of jump start tools here. I don't know about a 4 amp hour jump start tool. Maybe it's enough power, I don't know, but that $329 one I'm sure will jump start your car, but I don't know if we need that much power. I would look for something in between those two, to be honest with you. You know, they have the truck lights, they have the big straps to tow, they have all kinds of automotive stuff in Harbor Freight that I almost never talk about, guys, but they're here in this sale, so we're going to kind of bounce on it. They also have quite a bit of, well, they're calling power stations now. Well, this one is a battery one. They have generators, they have batteries. They are getting into the battery line as well, the solar generators, I guess we call them. The Predator line is really making headway into the generator. Here's a 9,000 watt gas powered generator for $700. That would probably run my house. I know it would run a large SUV. My townhouse is pretty small. I don't know how much wattage I need. Now that is the older cage non-inverter one, so it's not as quiet as some of the others, but $700 for 9,000 watts is really a pretty good price. Moving through, we saw on the other ad the Doyle pliers. Now we're seeing some Quinn pliers. Quinn is about half the price of Doyle, and honestly the Quinn tools are very good. I did pick up a full set of Doyle over time. I bought them on sale. I always got them during the 30% off sale that they run 4 or 5 times a year, and I got everything I needed in Doyle. I think I have 7 of the, God knows how many they use. I mean, everything I need I got. Love the Doyle, but Quinn is also very good. Got some extension cords here. Some of these look like they're fairly heavy duty, to be honest with you. You know, I like the 3-prong on the end. Yeah, 12 gauge and 10 gauge. So that 10 gauge is pretty heavy duty, $67.50. Moving on into their outdoor section, as they call it. They generally have things here. I do not buy much from their outdoor stuff. I don't have any of this, or do I have much to tell you on it. Atlas is their cordless outdoor. By cordless, I mean battery operated. I believe this is battery operated, 80 volt. Yeah. I don't know much about that either, so I'm just gonna let people who use it put comments below. Let us know the quality of them. The prices look pretty good, to be honest with you. Now we're getting into what they're calling their power tools, where there is a few things here I think you might be interested in my field, woodworking. If you're here for everything, we're going to talk a little bit of woodworking for a second, because I see two sanders here that you could pick up for 35 bucks for the pair of them. Now these are corded. Now the one thing I will tell you, corded tools are still needed necessity-wise sometimes, and sanding is one of the places. I mean, if you built a big project and you got to do a lot of sanding, you're going to eat some batteries up. So I'll be honest, a second set of a random orbit sander, a 5-inch, which is fine, and a quarter sheet orbital sander, the sheet sander, $35. One's 40% off, one's 50% off. So these are good savings here. And it's the Bauer brand, which I think is pretty darn good. We're not talking the Chicago Electric like we're looking at next to it here, the old biscuit plate joiner. I don't know that I'd talk to that at all, but these two sanders, even if you have a Ryobi or a DeWalt or whatever battery power system you are in, one of each, pick this set up for 35 bucks and have a second set for a second grit. I think it's a great idea. I might even do it. If I do, I'll let you know. Shop garage section here, hand trucks. They actually make some good hand trucks if you need one. And they make a lot of good casters. They have casters. And now we're getting into what they call storage, that metal shelf. I don't know how sturdy that is. That's one that I would look at in the store and see if you think you could use it in your garage. But if you can at 25 bucks, that's a pretty good price. Welding and machinery. I did a review of the Doyle Carpenter's vise, which unfortunately is not on sale here. I would say this Doyle swivel vise with anvil is probably just as high quality as the Woodworking Carpenter's vise was. I really like that. It's the best. It's the highest watched video on my channel, so you guys liked it. If you have this Doyle vise, let us know about it, guys, because I think the Doyle stuff is really good. We got some welders, welding equipment, masks. Harbor Freight is pretty heavily into welding, so if you're into that part of it, here it is. And that really is the end of the coupon part. They have dollar days. I'm not really going to touch on these guys. These are things you don't make a trip to the store for. But if you're in the store and you see something here you need, go ahead and grab it. They're priced between $1 and $8. Most of this stuff at the dollar used to be free when they had those free coupons. Not anymore, but a couple bucks here and there if you need them. All right, guys. I will have a better update for you for next week's Black Friday at Harbor Freight, hopefully later this week. Here's what's going on now if you're interested in going to the Harbor Freight early. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later this week with more Harbor Freight updates.